Yeah, pay attention to natural gas, guys. Pay attention to it. I think next week could be the week. It looks like it's been building down here for a while. Definitely been some commercial interest in it in these levels in the past. So I would say break a structure above 280, get out at around 290. You guys are going to be getting a nice return from that. Very, very strong risk reward. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Markets Now session today on this very rainy and freezing cold August 21st. Good morning to you. Hello there, Asif. Hello there, Scotty D. Good morning, buddy. Hey, see, we've got Coratum in the house as well. Good morning to you, sir. Good to see you. So, what a day we had yesterday. I mean, it's not come to an end, and frankly, this morning things looking a little bit like they're turning around in a couple of our FX positions, which is a bit of a shame. Some of them were looking very, very good, and it looked to be an absolutely enormous day yesterday. But then we've woken up this morning, things taking a bit of a U-turn. We'll cover those off in a minute and do our housekeeping. There's a couple we're going to make some edits to as well. So if we still have a open pending, I believe, in the Euro Oz, and we're going to be not removing the order, but we're just going to be changing the order, changing the parameters a bit because of where that's trading at the moment. There is an opportunity that I've managed to ascertain this morning that might be a little bit better for us to get stuck into. That's not that far away from the trigger point, so we're actually going to start there. So in the Euro was, we were looking for that counter trend breaker structure, and this was simply a hedge to offset some of the open risk that we had short in the Aussie NZD, for example, and the NZD USD, both of which have not done anything. They've continued to trade in their sort of usual price equilibrium patterns, right? So that's not changed. The Euro Oz, however, has had a really nice step up here. We've got the break close retest yesterday. We made new high. We've come up. We've kind of double topped at that at the moment. My train of thought here is we've got a really nice ceiling, and we've actually got a really, really well established floor. I mean, honestly, the floor is a little bit inconsistent, but it is well established enough to utilize for opportunities. And the margins available here are actually even better. So if we just take that short and we just stick the short up there, you've got the exact same trade, right? But it's current. It's still with trend, right? The price action is just a fraction above where we're talking about placing this order at this time. It's not actually better margin of availability, but it's identical. And what this is doing is we're sort of adapting the position. We're moving with the market, and so therefore, if the market does come back down, we're still going to be able to look at taking a profit from that, which we can then sort of psychologically compartmentalize that as a risk offset for something like the Aussie NZD or the NZD USD, which may trigger and then fall into the stop loss. So the Aussie NZD looks pretty close to triggering now as well. This one is live. It's still ready to go. So that one's ready and waiting. The Euro Oz, obviously, I think we should hop over to our terminals and we should punch in some fresh numbers on that one. So that's what we should all be doing this morning. Now, disclaimer, I've actually already done it to mine. I have been monitoring the situation. I knew chances of it triggering before coming on the stream were slim at best, so no point in shouting it out. I'm telling you now. So I'll send a picture of that one. If you guys want to go ahead and update your books, that's fine. If you're not in the trade for whatever reason, that's also, of course, absolutely fine. But that's what we're going to do with the EA. So there you go. Right. Yes, right. So that's that. First of all, the second thing we want to cover this morning in our housekeeping session, the pound against the yen. My God, this look, we we've been around the block a few times, right? But this is quite frustrating. The pound yen came to within a hair's breadth of its target profit down here at 197.80. It was a stone's throw, team, wasn't it? It was a stone's throw, and it bottomed out quarter to four, and boom, it travelled all the way back up for the longest intraday corrected, or the longest intraday retest of liquidity I think there's been in this pound yen downward spiral. Most of the correctors have been pretty sharp, pretty steep, quite nice in their sort of motion. This one has just been dragged out all night long. We've just hit liquidity this morning and retested. I mean, if we want to get confidence back in this as a trading opportunity, we want to see the break of structure underneath here at 198.39. There's nothing to be done about it at the moment, and we have a lot of sell side protection above. So it's great. We're in a good position still. It's just frustrating that we wake up today, we're at the charts, and we're exactly where we started off yesterday. So there is that to contend with at the moment. So that's the pound yen. No reason to worry about that one for this afternoon's Jackson Hole takeaways either. I think on the economic calendar front, we have nothing at all that's of any sort of major concern to any of our trading assets today. Tomorrow is, of course, the Fed Chair Powell speech as well, which is going to be really heavily watched. So do obviously pay attention to that if you can. And if you're not around, that's great. Just limit your market exposure as best as possible. So next up, the USD Swiss was the one next on the list for housekeeping. Huge fake out this morning. The Frankfurt Open, which is the early sort of FX Open here, really pushed up the USD Swiss, trading currently at 80.51 after reaching a high of 80.65. Very unfortunate business here. To be honest, guys, we're probably looking at taking a 0.25% risk. That's not because I lack optimism or I'm being pessimistic. That is simply because of the fact of price action and the way it's had such a knee-jerk reaction from that 80.65 level. It's a very, very big knee-jerk reaction. It has every telltale sign of a very stereotypical market fake out. So we're probably going to see that as a loser over the course of the next couple of hours. But it's fine. It's in the market. It's accounted for. And we just push on. We don't have anything to say on the NZD USD at this time. The Aussie NZD as well, close to triggering, looking okay. I think it's still got a good case for a short. No reason to edit that opportunity at the moment. Aussie CAD, I did fire this one out to you guys yesterday. Absolutely incredible result in the AC. I had a really, really good time with this one over the last couple of weeks. Been some longer term trades in this one, but we had a beautiful 1 to 2.76 here and an amazing 1 to 3.12 there. Really solid returns, back-to-back liquidity trading at its finest. So looking at the AC now, expecting this to come down into big liquidity at the daily time frame. Honestly, guys, we're taking another one. It's as simple as that. We're not going to worry about what we may be thinking or the fact that we're coming to the end of the equilibrium or anything like that. We are just simply going to be mechanical with our trading approach, and we're going to wait for the necessary criteria to be achieved, which is a push into liquidity down here at the lows. And as soon as that happens, we're going to be taking another Aussie CAD long from there back up to there and doing it all over again. So we'll stay tuned for that one. Obviously, I can stick an alarm down here, frankly, and that can just give me a heads up when we're trading down there. We can get ready for the next AC. Looking at gold. So this one is a loser for minus 0.2% this morning. Looking at the 1 minute time frame, we did trigger the trade early on, 20 past 7 a.m. And it came pretty much straight up out of the trade again in this sort of downward spiral that we've had. It's a little bit frustrating, this one. The reason I am ever so slightly frustrated by it is because of the fact the intraday channel that we were trading in was seriously good. I mean, it was like almost flawless. It's only when our trade triggered that the damn market came back out of the stop loss and broke the upper limit of this sort of 1 minute channel that we were trading in. So that's a little bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Market's trading there at the moment. I will not be having a second attempt at the gold short at this time. I'm going to leave the minus 0.2 on the table there, and that's that. So we can move on from there. And then, of course, from yesterday's US indices markets, the open, it was phenomenal. Okay, and I say that again with a capital PH. It was phenomenal. Really, really beautiful moves down. Markets provided the opportunities exactly as we saw before they happened. Everything just went really, really well. Got a 1 to 3.7 net on the US 30 Dow Jones at the end of it. Incredible move down there. And then we had another absolute blinder in the S&P, I believe it was. Yeah, there it is. So we had that blinder in the S&P there for a 1 to 3 as well. It was a big day for the US indices. Very, very nice indeed. If you had been on fire and you hadn't cared about times, maybe you're a single person or you don't have kids or responsibilities or anything like that, you can just be at the charts. Yesterday could have been just staggering. I mean, it really could have. The opportunities that triggered that would not have triggered your stop losses in and around the place, absolutely immense. It really, really was. And that's not just for the S&P, that's for all of the US indices, I would say. The NAS 100, immense sell-off. US 30 Dow Jones had this really big sell-off, but then the buyback, look at the buyback afterwards. We come into liquidity, we build for the next leg. These are all telltale signs of commercial buying interest. Break a structure here, target profit there. What do? We come back down, we break structure, stop loss there, target profit there. I mean, this is just free money. This is a cash machine, just stringing it off at the moment. In these US indices. I mean, it didn't stop. It didn't stop providing for us until 8 o'clock in the evening, till the end of the US. So yeah, huge day, absolutely huge day yesterday. With the inclusion, obviously, got the US 30 Dow Jones, got the S&P, got the Aussie CAD. We've still got some market exposure out there. We did take a hit in the gold, obviously, for minus 0.2. And we're also on the cusp of taking a hit in the USD Swiss. But regardless of all of that, yesterday was a really big day, and it will go down as a nice green day as well. So when we come to do our... Actually, bloody hell. I forgot I'm not here, am I? I'll have to get the... I'll do the end of... I guess today's US session will be the last trading day for me for a while. So I will get out the trading performance report by close of play today, so we can dig into the metrics and see how the fund performed and go from there, I suppose. And then, because I think we're leaving for the airport at around, I want to say 4:30 tomorrow morning. So got an early start. But so that's where we are. That's where we are in terms of housekeeping. Like I say, we've still got some market exposure out there. Euro Oz. We've got the pound yen currently running. That one's looking absolutely god awful. Literally stone's throw away. It's actually had incredible spike right now. That's from the pound. The global services PMI is higher. Why the hell's the... Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, because the yen will be selling off as a result of that, but I imagine no, completely unaffected. Interesting. This looks like it could be going for a double loser. However, if we're short... Okay, that's even more interesting. So there's a huge disparity between everything that we're looking at the moment. Well, maybe this is just a random blip up. That's going to be crap, isn't it? We take a loss on that, it's not going to feel good. But it happens, So we've got NZD USD, we've got Aussie NZD, we've got the Euro Oz. We definitely can't have any more exposure in Australian dollar, or New Zealand dollar for that matter. USD Swiss currently running, pound yen currently running. They both look really flaky right now, so that's probably going to be 0.5% down off the back of those. And then 0.7% down in total with gold. Let's look at natural gas. We did say we were going to cover that. It's still building, isn't it, down here? It's still building up. Thursday now, not really looking at any signs of breakout. I don't think it's going to be there for us this week. Now, what I want you guys to do, though, is do pay attention to it next week whilst I'm away. Obviously, you know, I'll try and stick my head in the room when I can. And, you know, now and again, I'll pop in and say hi and see how you guys are getting on, of course. But pay attention to natural gas, guys. Pay attention to it. I think next week could be the week. It looks like it's been building down here for a while. Definitely been some commercial interest in it in these levels in the past. So I would say break a structure above 280, get out at around 290. You guys are going to be getting a nice return from that. Very, very strong risk reward, regardless of the spread that you'll have to pay, or maybe you might have to pay for it. So that way, yeah, that would be nice. Pay attention to that one. This afternoon, of course, with the US indices, I will be returning. So I will be coming back to do a full written review and an analytical approach to the US indices this afternoon, including your explicit instruction to trade. So you will have all that, or you will have all those details. You'll have your entries, exits, targets, and everything provided this afternoon. So please stay tuned for that one. I suppose at this stage, I don't want to be adding anything. I'm not going to add anything further. I don't want to be stuck in anything, but by the time I leave, I want to be left flat, to be honest. So that's that. So is there anything that I can do for you guys before calling it there, I suppose? Anything you want me to look at? Talking points that you want me to cover? Good morning to you, Cora Tim. So Cora Tim asks, as you prefer to trade during the US session, some of the orders are not filled, and do you leave them overnight, taking into consideration the widespread and low volume of trading? Yeah, I mean, look, what I do, I say, right? So, you know, as you already know, Cora Tim, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I built and run this trading room as if it genuinely was like a trading floor, the closest I can get to that. So every single thing I do, completely transparent, is exactly the instruction that is provided into the room. So if I'm not telling you to get rid of trades at, let's say, 8 p.m. if they haven't triggered, that's because I'm not getting out of the trades. That's because I'm leaving the trades overnight to run. Now, generally speaking, I will account for the spread variation overnight with the positions that we have in tow and stuff like that, but that will all be done automatically. That will be done by me internally, let's say. In terms of low trading volumes and so on and so forth, over the course of the years, we have actually done, if you look at the data and all the end of week performance reports and the end of month performance reports are there. The whole history of it is there. It's completely transparent. So you can go through and you can dig into the finer details at your own leisure. Obviously, it's a very long process to do that, so I wouldn't recommend doing it if you've got anything more important to do. But the overnighters have been incredibly profitable for us, very much so. There is the occasion where we will be caught out by spreads, or for me, I get caught out by the rollover. So there'll be, significant wicks or something, and they'll come into stops, and then they'll move on to their target profits. But over time, and with a large enough set of data, you will see very much so large profits gained from the way that we run the overnighters, and also trading in the US session. Now, the European session, look, as it happens, quite frequently, the pending orders that we trigger in one day won't trigger until 7 o'clock the next day in the European session. And then those orders will be European orders. And then what will happen is those European trades will be coming to a close, or they will be closed by the US trading hours, which sets me up then again to start the whole process again and start building out the dev book in the afternoon for the US session. So it's, you say prefer to trade in the US. That is predominantly because you have the best amount of trading volume for the FX markets, the bond markets, the fixed income markets, the equity markets, and the US indice markets all in the afternoon. It is the best trading session of the day by a long shot. Unfortunately, Europe used to be good, right? But then the UK left the European Union and that went to hell. So because of that, we have a big reduction in trading volumes, even more so now in the mornings, which generally means that it just doesn't make for happy trading. It's very quiet. It's very slow. Does that answer your question? Yep. No worries. Anyone else? Anyone else got any questions or anything? Anything you want me to look at in particular? Yeah, no problem at all, Corriton. Absolutely fine. Okay, team. Well, I'm going to be here. I've got a busy day today. I am going to be in the trading room. I'm going to be behind the scenes working on stuff to be done whilst I'm away. Very busy day today, so please feel free to reach out because I will be present. I will be here, and it's the last day to tap into my mind before I'm gone for a little while. I will be in and around the trading room over the course of next week. If there's anything urgent, please feel free to shout it out. It's absolutely fine. I'm not gonna wag the finger at you. I of course will send you a couple of pictures now and again as well, I'm sure, of mountains or stuff like that, of me on top of a 3,600 meter mountain, which I'm absolutely stoked for. That's on the proviso I don't die trying to get to the top. But it will be my biggest mountain as well. Me and my partner Lucy, we do enjoy our mountaineering, and we're going for the biggest one we've ever done. We did the biggest mountain we did one of the big mountains in Austria a couple of years back. We've done obviously all of the UK ones, and we've done some pretty gnarly stuff as well. We've gone some extremely dangerous scrambling routes. So we do like that. We do like that kind of stuff. So I'll send you a couple of pictures at the top, I'm sure. But yeah, I hope you guys all have a really good. Obviously, if I don't catch you again, I'm sure I will. But if I don't catch you again, I hope you have a really good week. Take care of yourselves out there. Yeah, and just play it safe. You know, play it safe next week. I'll tell you what I will do just quickly before getting off. I will cover the ecom. Next week is a pretty quiet week, to be honest, guys. So it's actually a really nice week to go away, because I don't think there's going to be too much in your way of too much in terms of, you know, econ events making a stir in the markets. So August 25th, you've got nothing at all. Tuesday, you've got DGO, but that's only month-over-month data. You don't really need to worry about that. We do have the RBA meeting minutes. If you do have an Australian dollar exposure overnight, you may want to tie it in beforehand. So let's say reduce risk, bring stops down, or get out of the trade. I think that one's probably going to be one that would have registered on the market report as maybe, I don't know, whatever. I don't know what the number would be, but I think it probably will register just from my own understanding of where the RBA is at the moment with their monetary policy and what they intend to carry out. So just be aware of that one. Nothing Wednesday, nothing Thursday. Friday, you've got the core PCE price index at 1:30 in the afternoon with personal income and spend. Yes, it is only month-over-month data, but please do be aware that on Friday afternoon, things are probably going to be a little bit volatile in the US indice markets. So just be aware of that as well. But apart from that, team, it's a pretty clear week. It's pretty clear going. So you should be absolutely fine. And yeah, I'll wrap things up there, team. So it's been a pleasure as always. Hope you guys have enjoyed the session this morning. And if you need me, please feel free to reach out. And I hope you have a great day, a great weekend, and a good week next week. And I'll see you then. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.